The island is spiraling out of control, swarms of bugs are overrunning everything. OXR's grip on power is slipping, and strange cosmetic forces are humming beneath our feet. While the Dark Presence gears up to make its first strike, the final live event of the chapter is charging at us full throttle. With the hype spreading fast, the big question remains: what's the plan behind this invasion? Prepare yourselves to face off against the Dark Presence and the Spirit Realm. Grab your gear, lock and loaded, because this reality is packed with mysteries. And Chapter 6 Season 4 only added more questions to the pile. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. When you jump out of the battle bus, the first thing you'll notice is Utopia City, or what's left of it. It's basically dystopia now. Swarms have chewed through skyscrapers, the 0-point statue is blanketed in nests, and the city is barely recognizable. And yet, just a short run away, Epic dropped a weird contrast. A beach party spot with speakers, umbrellas, and summer vibes. It's like the island itself is daring us to celebrate while the apocalypse unfolds. OXR was supposed to be the answer. Instead, they got blindsided. Their base near Kappa Kappa factory was completely overrun. Jane, one of their top operatives, was sealed inside a bug egg. Kendo, Dago, and the Night Rose were cocooned at their own posts. And thanks to leaked transmissions, we now know why. These bugs, the Onomorphs, aren't just random insects. They were forged through dark magic in the spirit realm, unleashed to turn the lives of loopers and the people of Oninoshima into a nightmare. The swarm has already taken nearly half the island, and a disaster this big was never just a random chance. But when it looked like OXR was finished, General Onyx Winter stepped up. As the leader of OXR, she recruits the Looper to help defend the island, sending us to the front lines at overrun outposts. And now, the tide is finally shifting. OXR has launched coordinated counterattacks, retaking key outposts and clearing swarms from areas once thought lost. For the first time this season, it feels like OXR might actually have the upper hand. The war isn't won, but the bugs are no longer marching uncontested across the island. At the end of last season, the Dark Presence controlling Dago awakened the creature straight up Kraken-like. Not to wipe out loopers, but to hunt the shards of the 0 point. He knows they're out there, and like everyone who's ever learned of their existence, he craves that raw power. And here's where things get wild. We know the Dark Presence is attempting to master the Zero Shard, and if he's the one who sent the Red Rift Butterfly back to OG to alter its events, then it looks like he's already succeeding. If OG really is Reality Zero's past, then the Dark Presence may have deliberately altered it to ripple changes forwards into the present. That's not random meddling. That's someone who understands the 0 points rules, and only someone with prior knowledge could master a shard this fast. If this theory holds, the Dark Presence doesn't just want the shards, he's already reshaping reality itself. Meanwhile, Hope and Jones are running their own desperate plan, extracting a 0 point shard from the spirit realm. They suspect the swarm are slipping into the island through a hidden access point. Their investigation leads them back to Dago's ruined lair, where they and the Looper uncover an anomaly, a direct link to the spirit realm itself. Whatever lies beyond that anomaly could hold the key to stopping the invasion, or unleashing something worse. And while all this chaos is happening, the monolith has only gotten stranger. It now spawns extra chests, but step too close and you'll hear those chilling sounds. No quests, no dialogue, no answers. Combine that with the 0 point vault vanishing into thin air, and you have to wonder, is the monolith tied to the Dark Presence hunt for power, or something even bigger waiting to strike from the stars? Even the train hasn't escaped the fallout. It's rusting between Demon's Debris and Foxy Floodgate, stuck in limbo. Story-wise, that might be the point, progress frozen. The island can't move forward until the swarm, the spirit realm, and the villain pulling the strings are dealt with. But here's a twist. OXR may not just be the island's protectors. In the latest update, one of their new agents comes with an emote that shows a board covered in evidence. Not random scribbles, but direct references to the last reality, the cube, and every major Fortnite event ever. Which begs the question, how could they even know all this? Some fans believe OXR is basically an alternate version of the imagined order in this reality. But if Onyx Winter's words are true, her ancestors have always lived on Oninoshima. So how do they know about zero reality events that they were never part of? The answers could reshape everything we think we know about Fortnite's storyline. So here's the bigger picture. Utopia has fallen, OXR stumbled, but now they're fighting back and maybe even gaining the upper hand. The monolith whispers warnings we don't understand. Hope and Jones are tearing open anomalies, and General Onyx Winter is calling on loopers to join the counterattack. And somewhere above it all, the Dark Presence is mastering shards, rewriting history, and possibly reshaping entire realities. The final event is coming, and when it hits, Oninoshima and maybe the entire Fortnite reality might never be the same again. The island is spiraling into chaos. The bugs are winning, OXR is collapsing, and the monolith is humming with a cosmic power we don't understand. And yet, in the middle of all this destruction, something even stranger has returned. Something we thought we'd left in the past forever. The cube is back in Fortnite, but this time, it's different. After digging into the timeline, I realized this isn't just a repeat of history, it's a rewrite. Everything happening with the Swarm, the Monolith, and the coming live event ties back to the same force that kickstarted Fortnite's entire storyline years ago. So today, let's go all the way back to the very beginning, to the Rift, the lightning strikes, and the birth of Kevin the Cube, because understanding his story might be the only way to understand what's coming next. It started when the sky itself ripped apart, leaving a massive rift above the island. Weeks later, lightning began striking near Paradise Palms, and in the middle of a Fortnite tournament, the very first cube appeared. Nobody knew what it was. Subreddit mods had to ban the word cube because the spam was out of control. So players got creative and gave it a name, Kevin. And just like that, Kevin became a legend. Kevin rolled around the island, stamping mysterious runes into the ground. Entire websites tracked his every move. And when his journey ended at Loot Lake, he melted away. But that was only the beginning. In Darkness Rises, Kevin exploded back onto the scene, lifting an entire island into the sky. Rune by rune, he grew stronger, until the next phase unleashed cube monsters straight out of another dimension. Week after week, the island was swarmed. And then, the unthinkable. Kevin overloaded, pouring energy into the vortex at Loot Lake until he simply exploded. The Butterfly event was born, and Fortnite's true storyline officially began. We thought Kevin was a side character, a one-off, but we were wrong. Over the years, he became the backbone of Fortnite's entire story, from powering the Ice King to breaking open the vault to connecting with the Zero Point itself. Alternate timeline cubes, Kevolution energy, the Spire shard that corrupted Raz. Every single one of these threads tied back to Kevin. Fast forward to Operation Skyfire. Kevin was back, rebooted into something new, a blue cube nicknamed Blevin. Then came the golden cube, the cube queen, and an entire war with the last reality. The cubes weren't just characters anymore, they were factions, armies, and even gods of Fortnite's universe. But here's what it all connects to today. Back in 2023's OG season, Kevin's floating island returned. But instead of failing like before, this time he succeeded in extracting the Zero Point. That one small change showed us what could have happened all along. And now, in 2025, the cycle is repeating again. The OG mode has been reliving Fortnite's history, season by season, event by event. But the Rift this time is glowing red, and instead of Kevin, we now have a red cube rolling across the map, carving entire new glyphs, rewriting everything we thought we knew. These runes aren't just different, they're a warning. A countdown just like before. It all points straight to Fortnitemares. But if the cube really is rewriting history, then what's coming isn't just a repeat, it's something brand new. So here's the truth. Kevin wasn't here to kickstart Fortnite's storyline, he was here to shape it, and now the cube is about to change everything again. Fortnitemares is only weeks away, and if the story is really being rewritten in real time, then we're standing on the edge of the biggest event Fortnite has ever done. The storyline is officially back. The island might be spiraling out of control with bugs, OXR collapsing, and cosmic threats humming beneath the surface, but that's not the only chaos happening in Fortnite right now. While the storyline builds towards the final live event of the year, behind the scenes, Epic has been lining up some of the biggest collabs and features we've seen in months. From Warner Bros. Working on a brand new mode, to Daft Punk arriving September 27th, the Simpsons taking over with their own map, Scooby-Doo's Mystery Machine pulling up, and even Porsche dropping a new supercar. Fortnite news and leaks are going wild. And that's not all, because Star Wars fans just got extra time for a free skin. Ballistic tournaments are about to launch, and the long-awaited swinging mechanic might finally be here in Chapter 7. So let's break down everything coming next. First up, a big one. It looks like Fortnite's been working with Warner Bros. On a new mode. We don't know if it's still in active development, but the idea is massive. Imagine Fortnite blended with the Warner Bros. Universe. DC superheroes, Looney Tunes, Harry Potter, even Godzilla, all potentially wrapped into a dedicated mode. This wouldn't just be a cosmetic collab, it would be a whole new way to play. Next, good news for Star Wars fans. The free Stormtrooper skin promo has been extended until October 31st. Originally, it was supposed to end within hours, but now you've got weeks to claim it. All you have to do is connect your Epic Games account to your My Disney account and the skin will appear in your locker. It's quick, it's easy, and it's completely free. Now let's talk vehicles. Fortnite is adding another real-world supercar, and this time it's the Porsche 918 Spider. This is one of the most famous hypercars in the world, and soon you'll be able to drive it in the Battle Royale and rocket racing. After Ferrari and Lamborghini, Porsche is the next big flex for Fortnite's garage. Music fans, get ready, Daft Punk is officially collabing with Fortnite, and it's happening September 27th. The duo is legendary, and this collab could bring skins, music tracks, emotes, and possibly even a live concert event. Files also suggest a mysterious monolith on the island might tie into this event, so keep an eye on that. Now for gameplay. The long-leaked swinging mechanic is finally closer to release. New files suggest it's being lined up for Chapter 7. Unlike Spider-Man's web shooter, this mechanic looks like it will be part of the core movement, letting you latch onto anchors, swing through the air, and even shoot while swinging. If this goes live, it could completely change how we fight for high ground and rotate across the map. Competitive players, here's your update. Ballistic is about to get official tournaments. Epic accidentally added the filter for Ballistic Cups to the competitive tab, basically confirming they're on their way very soon. So if you've been practicing Ballistic, get ready, your time to shine is almost here. Another new discovery is a playlist codenamed Fancy Man. It supports solos, duos, and squads, which means this isn't just a small LTM. It looks like a full new mode in development. We don't know what the gameplay looks like yet, but with a codename like Fancy Man, it could be stylish, flashy, or tied to an upcoming crossover. Here's the huge bombshell. The Simpsons are coming to Fortnite, and not just as skins. Leaks suggest they'll have their own map. Epic just changed the backend date for Chapter 6 map to end on November 1st, which lines up perfectly with the Simpsons mini-season. That means we could see Springfield, Moe's Tavern, the power plant, and even the Simpsons house as new POIs on a limited time island. And finally, another classic cartoon is pulling up. Scooby-Doo is collabing with Fortnite and Rocket League. The Mystery Machine SUV will be drivable in both games, and Shaggy is expected as a skin. The vehicle is even designed to fit a full squad of 4 players, making it perfect for Battle Royale. So while Fortnite's collabs and new features are making headlines from Daft Punk and The Simpsons to Scooby-Doo and Porsche, remember, all of this is happening at the same time the island storyline is spiraling into its biggest live event yet. The bugs, the monolith, the collapse of XR, it's all leading to something huge. I'll keep tracking the news and the leaks, but more importantly, I'll keep breaking down how it ties into the bigger Fortnite story. Because if Epic is stacking up collabs and rewriting history with the cube, then the next few weeks could be some of the most important in Fortnite's entire timeline. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.